Hi, I'm Beverly Chester, and I'm talking today about a 2017 measles outbreak in the United States. Measles is a virus spread via airborne droplets of saliva or mucus and is highly contagious. It's got a high risk of complications for any age group, but specifically for children under 5, adults over 20, and pregnant women, including the fetus. The symptoms are outlined on the right side of this page, and the most important two for clinical diagnosis are the rash inside the mouth and a skin rash. In the U.S., measles was declared eliminated by the year 2000, which means no new cases were endemic to the U.S. for a period of 12 months. However, measles is easily imported into the U.S. via travelers. Over the past 5 years, we've witnessed several measles outbreaks, including last year, there were a few outbreaks with a total of 120 confirmed cases. At a global level, measles is still common in Europe, Asia, the Pacific, and Africa, with a prevalence of about 267,000 measles cases each year. The incidence rate is 36 new cases per 1 million people each year. This high global prevalence makes travel a risk factor for bringing measles into the U.S. An outbreak investigation follows 10 steps, and they might seem chronological or sequential, but some can be performed out of order or at any point in time. For example, steps 8 and 9 should be performed as soon as possible. The environmental investigation will help determine how measles came into the U.S. and how it spread. And step 9, the control measures should be performed as soon as possible to prevent further spread of disease. We'll now look at this 10 steps with a specific example from the Minnesota Department of Health. The outbreak of measles was confirmed when 3 cases were confirmed over about a week period of time, which is a frequency higher than expected. The case diagnosis was verified with clinical diagnosis of the skin rash, mouth rash, if the patient was unvaccinated against measles, and with a clinical IgM antibody serum prevalence test. The case definition then incorporated those 3 factors and occurred during a specific period of time from late March through June 2017. 65 cases were confirmed, and their information was gathered and put into a line listing. We can then take that information and develop graphs like the one shown here on this slide. This graph helped us understand that the spread was person to person. We can then take that line listing and do further descriptive epidemiology and understand that the population of spread was typically among Somali Americans. We can then dig further and understand that there's a low rate of vaccination against measles among Somali Americans living in Minnesota. The environmental investigation determined that the outbreak was caused by an unvaccinated infant who traveled with family back to Kenya and contracted measles there. Upon return to the U.S., the infant had contact with people at daycare who then spread the disease in public places. Control measures were performed, for example, isolating or quarantining the infected people and allowing public places to perform cleaning and rid themselves of disease. The findings were communicated to the public, including an educational program to improve vaccination rates, especially among this Somali American population. Thank you very much.